All right, let's go back out west now. Talk about another guy in the mix for QB3. He's been around the block a minute. Michael Penix Jr., transferred from Indiana. Last year had a good year at Washington. I've never seen, and we sort of joked about this yesterday when we talked, he had to ice his arm down after that game because all he threw were 60-yard bombs, it felt like.
Yeah, no, that was a fun game to watch. Now, Boise, he has two pretty good receivers to throw to.
Yep.
But charting him, he had 9 throws of plus 20 yards down the field. I mean, they were airing it out. And 4 of those were completions, and 3 or 4 of those went for touchdowns. So his release, and I may be, again, you can call me crazy, but I don't care. His release, because he has a kind of shot putty release, or even he's left-handed, reminded me of Phillip Rivers' release a little bit, the way he played.
All right, I'll call you crazy. See if you call me crazy. I wrote he looks a little bit like when you squint. That release reminded me of Tua.
No, absolutely not. That's great.
All right, Phillip Rivers it is.
Go back and watch Phillip Rivers' release and watch this kid's release and tell me if there's any similarities between the two.
I think Penix seems like he has a better arm, though.
Phillip Rivers had a pretty good arm. He was a pretty good quarterback.
He wasn't a bad quarterback, but I think Penix can step on a little bit.
One of my scouting lessons I learned is on Phillip Rivers. I was like, how's this guy going to be able to complete passes at the NFL with that type of release?
Yeah.
So he was very productive at the collegiate level, and I was wrong on that one.
How'd he do it?
Because he's an anticipatory thrower, and he's an accurate thrower. And just like Michael Penix said, he puts the ball in places where the receivers can go make plays, whether it's the back shoulder, whether it was over the shoulder on downfield throws.
Yep.
Kid knows how to place the ball to give the receivers a chance to make plays. And a lot, just like Phillip Rivers, not the greatest of athletes. He's probably the least athletic out of all the guys we've talked about so far. But he does a great job placing the ball short, intermediate, deep to give receivers a chance to go up and make plays. And he has 2 receivers that can do that.
Yep, I agree. I'm going to give Michael Penix a pop. I'm guessing you are too.
Yeah. No, did I sound like I gave him a drop?
No. I just want to be, so I have you on record. 29 of 40, 450 yards, 5 touchdowns. Probably looking at day 3 right now because of the injury history. He's a little older, but no one cares about that.
He's rising.
You think he's rising? Okay.
He's going to go into the Friday mix.
But I think, well, the injuries will sort itself out. But I like him. Don't get me wrong. Okay. But
he didn't miss a game last year.
Mm-hmm.
And if he stays healthy this year, that's 2 years that he's not been injured if he stays healthy this year. So even though he's had the double ACLs, that may be less of a concern.
Good point. And the 2 receivers you talked about, Rome Odunze, 7 receptions, 132 yards and a touchdown. And then our guy, we didn't talk about him over the summer, but he was on the radar. And this dude popped too. Odunze popped, but I think Jalen McMillan, number 11, popped.
Right.
What did he do here? He had 95 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran for another out of the Wildcat, which was a fun little. He just ran right through the A gap, but he's got some juice. Now Odunze is more of a Keon Coleman type, maybe not as twitchy. But McMillan, you can line up all over the place.
Yeah, and he can go up and get the ball. He's very physical receiver and very strong hands. And McMillan is a little bit more twitchier, a little bit more athletic, and probably a little better speed, but not nearly as strong as Odunze is.
Absolutely. What are you tweeting at me here, Debo? What is this? Michael Penix had himself a day against Boise State, cleaned 73% of his passes, led 7 TD drives. Penix has been compared to Tua Tagovailoa by many NFL scouts, according to some random Twitter account. Interesting. That's what Debo was trying to get my back.
Okay, so you're going to say if you're comparing him to Tua, he'll be the top 10 pick in next year's NFL draft.
You said shoot for the moon. I don't want to compare him to, I don't know, whoever the worst quarterback is. All right, so great start for Michael Penix in Washington, Boise State. They held in there for a little bit, and then things got out of hand pretty quickly.